When you receive your pH meter setup, you're going to get the following pieces. This is the main pH meter console. This is the pH meter electrode and the box it comes in. This is the power cord for the pH meter itself. The stand so you can hold up the pH electrode. And on the cart will be the pH electrode solution for you to refill the electrode. Sometimes the electrode might be a little bit dry inside, so make sure you check this part. It has a little sponge inside, and if it's dry, you want to refill it with some pH electrode storage solution. You cannot let the pH electrode go dry because it affects the performance over time. So you always want to soak it with a little bit of storage solution so that it doesn't dry out. If your electrode did not come with a little bit of liquid inside, be sure to moisten the sponge at the end of your lab. I'll be showing you how to connect the pieces to your pH meter. So if you take your pH meter and turn it around, on the back, this circle part that says pH is where the electrode will be connected. So insert the pin and turn it to the right until it clicks. The power cord has also a circular attachment, and you will connect it to the one labeled DC. Then connect it to the outlet at your station. Okay, now you can turn the power button on at the far left, and your screen should read something like this. A couple of things to notice about the pH meter are the buttons on the bottom. The far left is to exit a screen or hold it to turn the system off. Store and recall are mostly used for calibration storage. You don't really need to press this button at all during your experiment. The read, /enter, and auto are important during the calibration process, as well as when you're doing your experiment. Whenever you want the pH to be read, hit read. The pH/millivolts and setup is not another button that you will really be using, but this is to set up another type of setting on the pH meter, and you won't need to use it when doing basic things. The cal is the button that you will press to begin the calibration, and the slope is to read back the slope of the data gathered from the calibration if you wish to see it. Apart from the buttons, you will notice the screen itself has different numbers. So the upper one is the pH reading to 2 decimal places, and here's a temperature of the solution. But one of the more important parts to notice is on the upper left corner there's a smiley face with a probe image. So this will tell us if we had a good calibration or not. Right now it's kind of an in-between happy and sad face. This means that it is not calibrated. If it's a good calibration, it'll be a smiley face, and if it is a bad calibration, it'll be a sad face. Whenever you are reading the pH, it will fluctuate, and the auto will start flashing when it is stable. The M here, I believe, is for memory, so If you hit memory at any point, it will store it as 1 or 2 or 3, how many ever points you had saved. But like I mentioned, you won't need to hit the memory button. When you do the calibration, the numbers here will change based on what point you have done in the 3-point calibration. So if it's your first sample, it'll say M01 or M02 or M03 for the 3 different buffers. For the calibration of the pH meter, 3-point calibration, you will need the 3 buffers, pH 4, pH 7, and pH 10. You will need a waste beaker, preferably a large one, some Kim wipes to wipe off your electrode, some distilled water in a bottle. Make sure there's plenty to rinse your electrode during the whole calibration. And of course, you want to set up your pH meter before you begin. And I will now begin the stepwise explanation.